Welcome to Young Access TV. I'm Young Access, yours truly. We just gonna go ahead on and get straight to the news. This news here is Robert Brooks, the death of this inmate. It's just a sad situation. All the way across the board. This is pure racism at its finest. I don't know why, President Trump haven't spoke on this yet. I don't know why top official people haven't spoke on this yet. The Attorney General did speak on it. It's like flying underneath the radar. It need to be nationally spoken on and put on a record for the racism, that's happening in these facilities, against these inmates. That whole New York situation down from the leadership, because this is leadership, you got to understand that these are the people that hire these people, these are the people that hire these people to run these facilities, and somebody not doing their due diligence, and they letting these people work at these facilities, and you can literally tell that they mentally incapable of holding those positions. So I'm going to just go ahead on and let you guys check out the video. It's all over the world, not just on my channel, all over the world. If you haven't seen it yet, and you should have been and seen it, but it's not a good video. It's not. It's just bad all the way across the board. So check out the video.
Now, the day before, on December the 9th, Brooks was transferred from Mohawk Correctional Facility to Marcy Correctional Facility. Those are both in the same county, Oneida County, according to James. Brooks, she says, who was handcuffed with his hands behind his back, was then taken into a medical examination room where the events captured in the video took place here. So remember, we want to bring you some of this body camera video. Viewer discretion is advised. Let's take some of that. All right, so this was just released today by the office of New York Attorney General Tish James here. And so what you're watching right now is the moment in the wake of the transfer of Brooks from one facility to another here. So according to James, when he was transferred to this medical examination room, you're going to see it in just a moment, he was pronounced dead in the early morning hours of December 10th. But the action here, all right, we're going to watch it. Viewer discretion is advised. And there is Brooks there after being transferred from one facility to another. You are going to see the actions, and it's very difficult to watch. It's graphic. Officers there appearing to beat Brooks there. All right, so if you're just joining us for this story, this is what we know. This body-worn camera released by Attorney General Tish James's office that appears to show members of the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision officers there at Marcy Correctional Facility beating Robert Brooks. Brooks was handcuffed with his hands behind his back. He was then taken to a medical examination room there where the events captured in the video took place, she says. Now, Brooks was then transported to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead in the early morning hours of December the 10th there. Now, Governor Hochul's office said 14 members here have been fired for their role in this. We also are getting statements in from elected leaders in New York. We're going to step away from this video. You're going to hear from James in just a second here. Let's put this up. So this is from State Senator of New York, Rob Ort. He says this: I'm sickened by the brutal and senseless attack at Marcy Correctional Facility. The footage is absolutely appalling, and these violent actions cannot be tolerated. While this incident will understandably outrage New Yorkers, it's important to recognize that this horrific event does not reflect the dedicated service of the countless correction officers who risk their lives every day to maintain order and safety in our prisons. He says those responsible must be held fully accountable. There is no excuse for this behavior. That's from New York State Senator Rob Ort. In the meantime here, let's play the original announcement today by New York State Attorney General Letitia James.
Good afternoon. Today my office is releasing video from the investigation into the death of Mr. Robert Brooks. Mr. Brooks had been incarcerated at Mohawk Correctional Facility and was transferred to Marcy Correctional Facility on December 9th. During the incident, he was handcuffed with his hands behind his back. He was pronounced dead at Wynn Hospital in Utica on December 10th. I do not take lightly the release of this video, especially in the middle of the holiday season. But as Attorney General, I release these videos because I have a responsibility and duty to provide the Brooks family, their loved ones, and all New Yorkers with transparency and accountability. My deepest condolences go out to Mr. Brooks's family. Under New York law, my office investigates every case in which an officer of the law, including a correctional officer, may have caused the death of a civilian. On December 16th, my office announced that it had opened an investigation into Mr. Brooks's death. As in every case, the attorneys and investigators in my office are conducting an exhaustive review of the facts and the evidence. As Attorney General, you have my word that we will use every possible tool available to us to investigate this death thoroughly and swiftly. As part of the investigation, my office obtained video from body-worn cameras that 4 of the correction officers were wearing at the time of the incident. The 4 officers had their body-worn cameras powered on, but did not activate them. So their cameras were recording video in standby mode without recording sound. My team met with Mr. Brooks's family earlier this week, and they viewed the footage. These videos are shocking and disturbing, and I advise all to take appropriate care before choosing to watch them. We are releasing 8 videos today from 4 officers' body-worn cameras. 4 videos, one from each officer, that each run for the full 30 minute length of the standby mode recording, and a second version of the same 4 videos, which have been cropped to show only footage involving Mr. Brooks and the interactions between the officers and Mr. Brooks. Again, I encourage taking caution before viewing. I want to reiterate that we are investigating this case thoroughly and using every tool at our disposal to ensure that there is transparency and accountability for the events that preceded Mr. Brooks's death. I also want to make clear that this video and the conduct of these officers should not reflect poorly on the work and professionalism of the countless correction officers and correctional facility nurses throughout the state who go to work every day to protect and serve those in their care. And now we will play the 4 cropped videos I mentioned earlier. And all 8 videos will be.
All right, so that was the message there from Tish James. So wanted to make sure we got that in. We do have the statement up from New York Governor Kathy Hochul here. Let's put this up. She says, like all New Yorkers, I was outraged and horrified after seeing footage of the senseless killing of Robert Brooks. She goes on to say, I have been clear that is the responsibility of the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision to provide appropriate care and protection for those in its custody, and I will not tolerate anyone who violates that responsibility. She says that is why I ordered an immediate and full investigation into the death of Robert Brooks and further directed DOCCS Commissioner Martuscello to begin the termination process for the 14 individuals who were involved in his fatal attack. The state of New York has zero tolerance for individuals who break the law, and I'm committed to holding everyone involved fully accountable. Once again, I want to offer my deepest condolences to Brooks's family and loved ones as they grieve his tragic death. I'm grateful to the Attorney General and her team, our state police, and everyone working with us to ensure justice is served in this case here. So wanted to make sure we put that statement up as well, covering this story from all sides, all angles there, and definitely that body camera footage, very difficult to watch. If there are any more updates on this story, we'll make sure to bring them to you. But let's take a quick commercial break. We'll see everyone in just a moment.
Go ahead on and press that bell notification. Also, subscribe to the channel for new content at Young Access TV. I'm Young Access, and I'm out.